Hello and welcome to the Complete Guide to REST API Design course. In this course, you will learn everything there is to know about REST API, how to design it, how to use it, what are the basics of the REST API design, and also some advanced topics of the REST API. When you finish this course, you will know really everything there is to know about it, and you will be able to design a sophisticated, advanced, and very useful and documented REST API. But first, why REST API? Why do we need to learn about REST API? What's so special about it? So first, REST API is the de facto standard API on the web today. There are a lot of web API standards like GraphQL, gRPC, SOAP, and so on and so forth, and we will talk about some of them. But REST API is the most common and most popular one, and you will probably use it either as a developer or as a user of the API in your job. In addition, all major websites expose REST API, which adds to its popularity. REST API is exposed by sites like Amazon and Twitter and Facebook and eBay and Slack and Twilio and lots more. It's really the most popular web API out there, and you should be familiar with it. Developers come to expect to see REST API when they are using a specific website. So when you will develop a website or web app, your clients or developers that will use the website will expect to see REST API exposed by this site. And if your website will not expose REST API, then its popularity will dwindle and it will hurt your business. REST API supported by all development platforms. It doesn't really matter how do you develop your backend. It could be .NET or Java or Python or Node or PHP or whatever. All those platforms contain libraries to expose easily REST API, and they do it in a really good way. REST API knowledge is one of the most sought after skill in job applications. You will see a lot of ads, of job ads, looking for REST API experts, backend developers with REST API experience, and so on and so forth. So if you don't have this knowledge of REST API, it will probably hurt your chances to land a really good job in the future. And last but not least, REST API is extremely simple to implement. Comparing to other web API like SOAP or GraphQL, which are much more complicated to implement, REST API is very simple, as you will see later in this course. Usually, you won't need more than a single line of code to implement REST API. Again, doesn't matter which platform you are using, and it's really simple to implement. You will see it later in this course. So, what do you need to know about this course before we dive in? First, this course is very practical. We are not going just to look at the PowerPoint slides and talk, but we are actually going to use and implement REST API, and we are going to use two tools for this, Postman and Bceptor. Now don't worry if you have no idea what Postman and Bceptor are. We are going to talk about it later in this course, and I'll show you exactly what are those tools and how to use them. In addition, don't worry, no coding is required in this course. It doesn't matter which platform you are using in your day job. You are not going to code anything in this course. Everything will be implemented using Postman and Bceptor. We will be looking at some code, but again, you won't need to code, just take a look. So first, a little bit about myself. So who am I? My name is Memi Lavi, and you can see my website URL at the bottom of this slide. You are more than invited to visit it. I'm a senior software and cloud architect with almost 20 years of experience in this field. I've worked with a lot of international and large clients, as well as small startups and government organizations. I've helped all of those clients designing their architecture either on-prem or in the cloud, and I've helped them also design and build their REST API. I'm quite proficient in a lot of technology stacks. At the development side, with Microsoft.NET, Java, Python, and some more. In the databases, I worked with SQL Server, Oracle, and a little bit of MongoDB. On the front end, of course, Angular and React. And in the cloud, mainly Azure and a little bit of AWS. So let's go on.